Fusion World is on life support. Hey, what is up, Fully Charged TCG? My name is Damien, and today I want to make a little bit of a sad video, to be honest. I want to discuss the state of the game, Dragon Ball Super Fusion World. I was super excited when this game was announced. I come from playing 3 years of Masters, and it was the first game, Dragon Ball Super Masters, was the very first game that I started playing again as an adult. I played Pokemon, I'd played a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh!, but as a kid, never competitively. And Dragon Ball Super Fusion World Masters, it got me back into card games, and I fell in love with it. And I was so sad when that game started to lose local support. I no longer had people to play with, and ultimately, after 3 years of playing the game, I chose to quit playing it. Well, when I heard Fusion World announced, that just reignited that passion and fire. I was ready to just about drop every other card game I was playing and go all in. But here we are, set 2. And Fusion World is on life support. I don't understand. It seems like Bandai just can't get Dragon Ball games correct. Don't know what it is. They're doing fantastic with One Piece. They even did pretty good with Digimon. But here we are, our second Dragon Ball game, a reboot, something that was supposed to fix the mistakes of the past. And set 2, we're on life support. So the main issue revolves around this leader, Topku, and the cards and packages that they gave him in set 2. The truth is, we are living through a tier 0 meta, whether or not you want to accept that. And the community seems to be like at a 70-30 split from the posts that I see. 70% of the community says this tier 0 meta sucks. Ban Topku, do something. Ban Kefla, ban Glimpse, do something to try to make this oppressive deck stop being so oppressive. And then there's like this 30% of people that keep, I don't know if they're trolling, but throwing out, you need to get better, it's not that bad, all TCGs go through this, The truth is that yes, I do believe at one point or another, most TCGs will go through this state of having one dominant deck, maybe even a tier 0. The issue here is this is the reboot game, and we're only on set 2, and we're living through a tier 0 format. That is bonkers to me. So my issue that I have personally with it is it seems like the game is starting to die. I mean, I posted cards back in set 1 for Fusion World to sell extra alts, extra SRs that I didn't need, and people would grab them up and at very, very small discounts from TCG Player. I post cards of set 2, and they seem a lot harder to move. And this isn't because like I'm like, oh, I want to be able to sell my cards, the game's dying. No, it's just that I noticed that people seem to even be less interested in trying to purchase singles when before you could sell them instantly. The moment you post them, 15 minutes later, people were buying them. And I think that the issue is that people know there's no point in playing anything besides red right now, and specifically Topku. If you look at regionals, we're sitting at most of the meta being Topku. Top 16s will have 14 Topkus and top 16 in North Carolina. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is I don't want to fan the flame. I don't want to be complaining. That's just not my style. But also at the same time, something that's very important to me with this channel is my integrity within these card games. And before I post Fusion World content, which I am going to post because I do enjoy the game, and until I fully decide to quit, I'm going to continue to make content around Fusion World. But before I did start, I wanted to warn you that if you don't play Dragon Ball Super Fusion World, or you're considering it and you click into this video, just understand that I'm not recommending buying heavy into this game. And that's really sad for me to say. I just can't, of good conscience, say spend hundreds of dollars buying booster boxes, and or even going and spending $100-$200 to buy a deck or whatever it costs. I think Topku, being the deck to play, will probably run you $150 to $250 depending on the current state of the market. and what kind of deals you can find, I can't, of good conscience, recommend that to a new person, because the truth is, I don't know if I'll even buy set 3 at this point. And the biggest issue that I see is the lack of communication from Bandai. From what I've seen, Bandai has not given us any direction on what their plans are to deal with this tier 0 meta that, mind you, is only in set 2. And that's been my biggest issue. Every day I wake up, I check Facebook. Every night I check Facebook to see, hey, has there been an announcement? Are they going to ban this leader or do something to try to correct it? And every day I'm disappointed. Now, don't get me wrong. I was excited to play Top Coup going into this meta. I had no idea that it was going to be this level of, craziness. But I, even as a really competitive person, someone who's been playing Top Coup since day one, sit back and go, man, I would like to be able to play other colors and experiment with them. But the truth is, it feels like a big waste of time, because some people say, well, you just got to get really good with that color and find the crack in their armor, and then, you can overcome that. And maybe that works, but when you take it to a regional level, maybe that works for 1 or 2 games. But once you're sitting at 3-0 and you're starting to play against other 3-0 players that really know what they're doing, the deck strength does become a factor. It doesn't matter how good of a player you are. And so when I think about that, I don't even want to waste time trying to figure out how to beat Top Coup with another color when I could just be competitive and play Top Coup. So I just wanted to make this video as more of just a, hey, look, I'm going to be posting Future World content, but I can't recommend it at this time. And maybe if they correct it, we will revisit this, and then I can recommend it. As far as my fix for this, if you clicked in and you are a Fusion World player and you're wondering what my 2 cents is, to be honest, I think that Bandai, even if they correct it, they've done a lot of damage to the community. They've lost faith. A lot of people have lost faith in them, and creators, even Eggman himself had a leaked tweet from his private Twitter or X that said that he was going to no longer be making Fusion World content if Bandai didn't fix this issue, and they didn't. So it's losing a lot of steam, and even if they correct it now, I think there's going to be a large amount of damage done to the community, and I really hope that we can recover from it when and if they finally decide to do something. My fix, I think the easiest thing to do at this point, it wasn't what I wanted initially, but just ban Top Coup, ban the leader. It's not what I initially wanted, but at this point, I think it's the drastic measure that we have to take. If they weren't going to ban it, then my 2 suggestions would be either A, limit Kefla to 1. Limiting Kefla to 1 is going to hurt all red decks and maybe even make them unplayable into like green that can punish you late game. But we would have to see that and experiment with that. Or the other thing they could do is they could change Kefla's text. Her text reads in her permanent that when your leader is awakened, this card gains plus 5,000 power. So as soon as you play her to the field, she goes from 20 to 25. Well, if they change that to be, if your leader is awakened, this card gains plus 5,000 power in your hand and on the field, then she's now at 25k and Top Coup can no longer cheat her out. And I think that would be much more balanced, because then, yeah, on turn 5, you could still tap 1 to play a 3-drop Gohan and then tap 4 to play a Kefla to play another card, but no longer can you just go tap 1 on 4 energy, play a Kefla into a Gohan, and then tap 3 and play a Gohan, or turn 5, tap 1 for a Kefla, play a Android, then tap 4 for a Kefla, play a Gohan off that Kefla, plus you draw 2 cards. So I think that one of those 3 fixes, banning the leader, changing her permanent, or limiting her, would drastically help. The other card that they would maybe need to look at after the fact is Ribrianne. Ribrianne plus Glimpse is obnoxious, but I think if you slow down Top Coup, maybe that's even bearable. I don't know, we would have to see. So sorry for this kind of rant-ish video, but I just wanted to be honest. At the same time that this video is dropping, my top coup deck list that I'm currently playing and testing for June 15th is also live, and I didn't want to post that video without making this one as well. Well, thank you guys for listening to me rant for a few minutes, and I hope to see you in the comments of all the other future TCG stuff. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.